See, you got to get rid of that gunk. You've got to get rid of that stuff that people have put into your brain because it will cost you a fortune. You all right? It will cost you a fortune. And I'm going to say this one more time. There's only one or two different people in this business in common in this room. I believe everybody in here has a belief about conflict. How many people have it? What's your name?
Esther.
Esther? Oh, I'm not going to say anything to Esther. Anybody with a biblical name? I don't go there. God likes you. The thing that is the wrap up, every conference, it doesn't matter what it is, has its own personality. It doesn't matter whether it's this conference, and as a matter of fact, the next conference here I would encourage you to go to, I was reading stuff that you guys are going to learn. I was like, man, I need to go to that and just take notes. Because I love to learn. But I want to ask you a question. How many people here understand that there's only two types of people in this room? That's it. There's only two types of people, folks. There's only two types, and never will be any other two types. Those that succeed with Conklin and those that struggle with Conklin. And you're going to have to make your mind up which one you're going to be. Because my mentor, who's done 14 billion, how many people understand that's 14 times almost what I've done? 14 billion was one organization. Yes, Johnny. Yes, Robert. 14 billion. He said one time, it was in Phoenix, Arizona. And he sat down and I was, to be honest, thinking about leaving the business. Because I came up real quick and then I struggled for several years. And he says, Douglas, you got to understand there's only two types of people in our company. Those that have made the decision to succeed and those that understand where they are, and those that have listened to the other people in the world, and those that struggle in this business. He says, your belief will always be determined by who you're listening to. He says, quit listening to yourself and start listening to those who are killing it. He says, start listening to those who can get you to where you want to be versus where they want you to be. Did you hear what I just said? And this is the reason why let me define this a little bit more. In my mind, there's only two types of people in this business. Those that will be millionaires in this business and those that won't. Now I know that's going, millionaires, ooh. Hey guys, you've got something here that's unbelievable. I've been talking to people that are in the know in network marketing. I mean, they know because they probably know the business better than me. And I've asked them, have you ever heard of Conklin? They say, what? And what that means is this is a 48-year-old startup. Are you kidding me? $80 million, but I can see that down the road doubling fairly quickly. How many people can see that? And you got to ask yourself this question, what percentage of that do I really truly want? Am I going to be those that, well, I'll give all the excuses in the word, and if you ever written the word excuse, what's your name, sir?
Milton.
Milton, have you ever written the word excuse, E-X-C-U-S-E? Right in the middle of the word is cuss. And that's the reason why that you do not want to give me an excuse ever, because you may as well be using 4 other letter words or whatever with me. I don't like them. Because see, there's 3 things that Conklin has that no other company in network marketing has. Number 1, they have an extremely unique product. How many people understand that what you've got literally for what you do is the best that there is? So number 1, you've got to believe in the product. Number 2, how many people also understand that you've got the best company as far as what you do and the best leadership with Charles, with Steve, with the Rager brothers? How many people understand that you got that? All right, third, how many people understand that there's no better way to help people, to market to people, to transform people, to really truly shake people up than direct sales and network marketing? So if we've got 1, 2, 3, then how many people understand that you have no excuses now? Because I got a buddy in Canada that's earning about $100,000, well, about probably $80,000 a month, and he's a paraplegic. And you know what a paraplegic is? The only thing he can move is his neck. He cannot move anything else. He lives in Calgary, Canada. And I worked with him for several years back in the 90s. Now here's my question to you. How many people understand the only thing he's got, Steve, is his mouth? He can make phone calls. And he says, if you tell me what I can do, if you can tell me what I need to say and everything, then I'll figure it out from there. So we did some coaching. Today he's earning about $20,000, maybe $18,000 a week from my former company. He's a paraplegic. He cannot move anything except his neck and his mouth. Now here's my question to you. What's your excuse? Do you understand? Because you know how he dials? He has to have a special phone that he takes his nose and does this. But he was so persistent. He said, I will do this because I don't have any other options. This is the reason why that today he's now on the board of the disability board of the nation of Canada, because he's made such a name for himself because he just refused to let his disability go where most people do. Let me tell you, there are disabled people in this room up here. And the reason why, somebody has talked you out of it. Somebody's talked you out of really, there's a big you and a little you inside of me, as my mentor used to say. He says, the problem is there's a fight. He says there's always a fight between the big you and the little you. And he says once the big you understands that the little you can just be pushed out of the way, then you can do anything you want. But that little you, that comes from years of people putting you down. That comes from years of negative thoughts and words spoken into your life. That comes from words from the media. How many people understand you don't listen to the media because you'll get depressed anymore? Been that way for decades. And see, this is the reason why you got to ask yourself this question. What is it that's holding me back? Nothing. It's imaginary. Because how many people understand that yeses are more valuable than no's in this business? If you raise your hand, you're wrong. No's are singular the most valuable thing in this business. Yeses catalyze the paycheck, Willem. No's determine the number of zeros. Because no's will sharpen your skill set. They will sharpen your skill set on leadership. They will sharpen your skill set on communication, on sales, and marketing, everything. Because that's what you've got to do. You've got to get all of that stuff, if you will, to quit talking to you. And how many people know what I'm talking about? That stuff that keeps talking to you. Wow, man, who do you think you are? You can't do this. I struggled with that for years. But one day, my mentor came up to me, put his arm around me, and he says, Douglas, I believe in you. He says, and I believe that you're going to do $1 billion in this industry. It may not be this decade, but I believe you're going to do it. How many people understand? Most people never hear the word I believe, or the phrase I believe in you, ever in their life. So this is what I want to challenge you guys to do. Every time that you talk with somebody, I want you to look in their eyes, and during that course of the conversation or on the phone talking to each other, say, hey, listen, dude, you can do this. I believe in you. And the reason why is because if you believe, if you truly, truly, truly believe, why do you think I've been spending so much time with my wives? I give up on them. Because I believe in them. And this is why I'm here. We were supposed to be somewhere else. But I believe in what Conklin is doing. This is the reason why you've got to get that gunk out of your head and start understanding who you really are. And I'll tell you who you really are as we wrap this up. Number one, you are somebody that's destined to earn $100,000 in this business. Am I correct? How many people understand that? Let me see your hand. You are destined. Number two, you are some of the most well-timed people in the history of network marketing with what's getting ready to happen with Conklin. Because timing will be so much better than talent. And you're on a timing phase right now. And because of certain changes in the government, certain changes in regulations and stuff, this is going to make your business explode if you let it. I'm not making sense. So I'm not talking politics here. I'm talking reality because that's all I know. And the third thing that you got to take back with you is there's nothing except imaginary stuff stopping you. Now I want you to point something out to me. How many people have had negative stuff spoken into your life? Let me see your hands. All right, show it. Put it in your hand. Let me see it. Put it in your hand. I want to see it. You can't, there's not there? Well, if you can't put it in my hand, why in the world are you worried about it? Why are you listening to it? Because the only thing that matters is reality. And if you're listening to something that's imaginary, say you'll never amount to anything. Over and over and over and over and over. You'll never amount to anything. And then that was the good stuff. Seriously. But one day somebody told me the truth. And they said, Douglas, you got to understand, what she's saying, she doesn't mean. It's just what she heard growing up that is being dictated to you. He says, break the cycle. He says, step back and draw a line in the sand and say, no more, baby, I'm going to the top. He says, that's just her tapes or CDs playing in the back of her brain. See, you got to get rid of that gunk. You've got to get rid of that stuff that people have put in your brain, because it will cost you a fortune. You all right? It will cost you a fortune. And I'm going to say this one more time. There's only one or two different people in this business in Conklin in this room. Those that are going to kill it and those that are going to be killed by it. Woo. What do you mean, Doug? Your dreams are destroyed? Your self-image is destroyed? Your desire, your passion is destroyed because somebody's talked you out of it. Don't let that person be you. Am I making sense? So as we leave, I want to ask, how many people here, after all this stuff that you've heard today, and it's been awesome. Steve, you just killed it, man. I got a copy of his slides, and how many people like that? Wasn't that awesome? Dude, man, you killed it. And Matt Nelly, how many people understand you can learn anything from them? And who's the other guy? You. You did a great job too. We'll talk afterwards. How many people understand you got to draw a line in the sand? How many people are ready to do that? How many people are honestly ready to do that? All right, everybody stand up. I've done this in probably 15 countries, and it's very powerful. And the reason why it's very powerful, because you realize just that, see, I'm speaking of that greatness inside of you right now. There's greatness inside of every single person in this room, but it's been pummeled down by people, it's been pummeled down by loving people, it's been pummeled down by family, it's been pummeled down by situations and circumstances probably you had nothing to do with, but it's just the way it happened. But how many people are ready to let it go? How many people are ready to go out that door and see that thing, exit? Look, everybody look at exit. It no longer says exit, it's entrance. Because as you leave this place, you're entering into the greatest part of your life. Are you getting me? Because my mentor told me, he says, you have an exit personality, Doug. That's your problem. He says, you got an exit personality. You need an entrance personality, because you need to enter into the best part of your life. Because he says the average person, the rest of their life is the rest of their life. He says, but the seven-figure earners, is the rest of their life is the best of their life. Am I making sense to you? Am I communicating with you? Johnny, Robert? Right on? All right, everybody point your finger down. Right here. Just point your finger down your toes and draw an imaginary line. Repeat after me. The line has been drawn. I will no longer step over it. I will no longer do less. I will do no longer do lack. I will no longer do lies. And I will no longer let people talk me out of my greatness. It's not my fault that this happened, but it is my fault